Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of Terry's Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And then all Geminis unite. All Geminis unite. Stand up. Hey, I'm pretty sure Kanye West gonna have a lot of Geminis on agreeing terms right now. And Gemini gonna have the Aquariuses and the Libras trying to reach out and get an understanding. But for the most part, let's talk about Kanye West for a second. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I don't even really like to talk about people because I ain't a spiritual hater. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the person that's going to be up here telling the person what they can and what they can't do, especially what they can't do, because in any way, shape, or form, when somebody come into this world and show somebody else something that the other person didn't feel like anybody was capable of, that's a form of expansion. That's a form of reaching the egg. Regardless of how it looks to you, you need to understand that this light, these emittance of lights that in this realm of reality we are in, is a near illusion. And this illusion can be shaped and formed as you please due to your imagination. And that's where a lot of y'all get things wrong. So when you look at Kanye West right now, what you guys are looking at is this is what Kanye West is doing. He might not know he's doing this, but this is what Kanye West is doing. Kanye West is proving to everybody that the mind, yes, the mind, the mental, the mind itself is the matrix. That's what Kanye West is proving. The mind itself is the matrix. The moment you start to think or create a concept around an experience, you put that experience in a matrix. Because you genuinely don't know what that experience is. AKA, yeah, it's a matrix, us calling the sun. It's a matrix, us telling us whatever it's giving off is light. It's a matrix, us saying that what we seeing is what we seeing. But the experience is just the experience. Point blank, period. Whether you had a word for it or not. You see what I'm saying? And the feelings that you're going to get those. You're going to receive those. You're going to receive expressions and emotions and reactions to the world around you, to the 360 you around. Whether you got a word for it or not. So, this is what Kanye West is proving. Kanye West is proving the mind itself is the mental, and he's trying to detach himself from the matrix, aka restraining from overthinking. And just going off the feeling, off the emotion. Now, this is one of the first things that we want to say in all ancient religions or ancient texts where first spirits went wrong at. But I'm trying to give you a concept of, no, these are things that we naturally do. There ain't no such thing as what we doing is right or wrong. That's another lost person trying to come and tell, like another person trying to say what Kanye West is doing is wrong or is weird. A person who's logically indoctrinated in some way, shape, or form, whether to a high vibrational degree or a low one. So that'd be a person way back in the religious days that was like, no, you're not supposed to dive into your pleasures. Now Kanye West has turned his emotions and feelings into a pleasure or things of that nature. Or, you know, he's just going off the feeling and wanting to experience. Now this experience don't have no words, but just experiencing is what your spirit wants to do. You know what I'm saying? So going through all those heartbeat moments, all these experiences, these new experiences that your spirit never went through before. This is with that level of amount of information is how you receive enough information to reach the next motherfucking egg. You see what I'm saying? So everybody who got something negative to say about Kanye West, basically Kanye West is proven on a higher level that the mind itself is the matrix, and anybody who got some type of disagreeing nature towards him Kanye West is basically shining a light on different forms of indoctrinations, different forms of lostness. So if you're a person who think you are consciously aware or think you're woke, but you're woke and too consciously aware to the point that you're blinded to certain facts and you're lost into certain facts, you will come to a conclusion to make a disagreeable video towards Kanye West, when really you're not supposed to be a spiritual hater on under any circumstance or situation. See what I'm saying? So what Kanye West is just showing is that the mind itself is the matrix, and the moment people start thinking something's supposed to be this way, because this is what you need to understand: the right brain is your 360, is round, it's feminine, it's like a feminine energy. So it's dealing more with the internal, the emotions, the feelings, the realm, the world we are in, the emotional states we are in, the realm we are in. This is the internal, the imagination, the dream, the darkness. This is the right brain. So it has no shape and form. So that's more related to your spirit and things of that nature. These things has no words. Remember, it's internal. So these is not in the yang realm. It has no shape or form, no light hitting it or things of that nature. Only your own light and source could put it out in the yang world, and have others put shapes and letters and put doctrines on it, and put language on it, and put words and meanings on it, and why this and why that. But for the most part, what's internal is just truly shapeless and formless. Now the left brain is more masculine energy, and I'm not talking about male and female as in the physical form, but the left brain is more masculine. So it's dealing with more yang, more pushing out, more external, more. So it's like logic. So it's line of reference, something we could point to, something we could logically put together, make it coherent enough for us to understand. So when we have an imagination that's shapeless and formless, when we have to give it a shape and form, we put our right brain energy into the left brain, which is the logic. That's logic. We try to logically understand and create a shape and form around that shapeless and formless. So it's like we're taking the 360, which is our right feminine brain energy, and we're putting it in the left brain, right? And the left brain is what creates the square within the circle. So a square is still 360 degrees, but at the same time it's a square. So now we're drawing lines and outlining and point of reference and point of directions and chopping up the pie wheel and chopping things up and chop it up and shit like that. That's why people say we need to chop it up and shit like that. We start to chop up our imagination and chop shit up and put it in the light and plant seeds and shit like that, when really this is just another form of putting your inner world into a matrix. And a lot of times you don't put all your inner world into a matrix, because the matrix you put it into, aka the thought forms you put it into, a lot of times don't even agree with a lot of your imagination. So this will make you doubt, because you'll have an imagination that you want to put out there, but since there's so many other logics and so much left brain squares and shit out in the world, and people who are too left brained and don't understand the subconscious realm, then the moment you put your shapeless formless out there into the light, into the yang realm, you put the yin into the yang realm, once it start taking shape and form of everybody else's spirit and everybody else's logic, and everybody else is taking in their right brain and start left braining it and put squares and shit to it, it start not even being seen the way it's perceived. And the shape and form that it becomes a representation of that you didn't even want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Because and then everyone who created that shape and form and that block and that road in front of you, and they built it for you, right? It's just shining a light on these people, showing them that how lost they are and how fast they know how to build and structure, because they're lost in pattern and working in the cobalt and working for oversouls and other entities, and they don't even know it themselves. So it's like fake wokeness and shit like that, which is woke, just being too consciously aware. I don't want to be woke. I'd rather walk everywhere with motherfucking glasses on, just like motherfucking Morpheus, Neo, and Trinity. You know what I'm saying? We out here with our motherfucking glasses on. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't letting the light blind our eyes. We got shades on so we can see. We ain't gotta squint our eyes. We can actually see what the motherfucking energy is actually doing. Fuck the shape and form and the letters and the language and the words that y'all attaching to it. What the spirit is actually doing. So you know, the mind itself is the matrix. That's why you call it the mind, the mother, the womb. You know what I'm saying? The mind is like the cord that you attach to the physical brain so you can inhabit that body as a soul. But for the most part, the mind itself is through the astral realm, through the astral travel, through the matrix. And wherever position you are in, that space and location is occupied by a bunch of other spirits and a bunch of intellectual other beings and things of that nature. And if you have a certain government in that area, they want things to be ran a certain way. So if your wire is, and if your wire in your mind and your matrix and the way you come through this matrix is in your way, a lot of times if you're not going a case and protocol or going towards the way that the law is supposed to be constructed in that realm of reality, then they create scenarios and work through other lesser beings and work through other people who are indoctrinated in their way to attack you. So you'll be getting attacked right? And if you're not consciously aware, or you don't realize what's actually going on, then you'll be a person who kind of slowly but surely go back into the pattern, go back into the rotation, and be a good little puppet, be a good little sheep again. And that's not what we're here to do as a spirit. So, you know, Kanye West is just waking everybody. I ain't mean to even go that deep, you know, because I know a lot of people may watch this that's not even a regular on my channel. So, you know, just seeing Kanye West, they may watch this and think I went a little too far. But I ain't mean to go that deep for this title of video. But for the most part, that's how things really is. And that's what you need to understand for the most part. You know, Kanye West is showing that the mind itself is the matrix. And the moment you start to moralize or put your emotions and feelings in some type of structure, some type of jail cell, some type of construct, first of all, you got to think, where did you get that construct from? What spirit did you get that construct from? And is it good for your spirit or not? And then that's how you know if your spirit is in a jail cell or not. Because a lot of y'all cling on to morals and things of that nature and morality that really don't have anything to do with you but just your location and the situation that you was brought up in. But, you know, morality itself, there's no objective morality. And, you know, people need to understand that there's only one objective statement. Everyone has subjectivity. So if everybody has subjectivity, there's not one moral stance that people need to understand. So when we all collectively come together to create a moral stance amongst each other, then that's when that actually accounts for anything. But for the most part, you can't look at a person and based upon what they have, or you can kind of criticize what they do with that. That's just like Kanye West. Based upon his popularity and his platform, you got other people think that they can kind of dictate what he do with that based upon their imagination. And their imagination may not even be halfway near his. So he's looking at it from a spiritual stance. Everybody looking at it from a physical stance. And then it's rooted in money and things that's about society and things of that nature. So, you know, people wouldn't even truly understand Kanye West at this moment. Now, for the most part, I don't agree with him wearing Donald Trump's hat. He could at least wear his own hat. Now you could wear your own hat. Like I don't even want to wear nobody else's brand. I'd rather wear my own hat. You see what I'm saying? And that's besides the fact. But you know, you just got to get the spiritual message. At the end of the day, that's another point right there. Cause I just got lost. Like the hat isn't the issue. The words on the hat isn't the issue. That's some physical shit. The behind the scenes is he's actually sharing energy with someone else on another level, you know. But once we start to get into the physical terms, that's when we start to get lost. But you know, it goes deep into a lot of scenarios. But then, you know, that's how I actually feel. I don't actually spiritually hate on anyone. I feel like anybody who come up with their own way of reaching the egg, or their own way of rising above, you know, and resurrecting in the right space, into the right place, then, you know, I look at these people as that's just their way of doing it. A lot of things it's not gonna make sense, but I understand we in a realm that's an illusion, that take different shapes and forms, that doesn't necessarily make sense all the time. But once you understand the spirit, it all makes sense. So, you know, and once I see Kanye West's spirit, he has an undetached spirit. And he had to get lost in the physical in order to realize where he needed to detach from. So the bunch of the responsibilities and the things he may have attached to his spirit, like as far as like gaining a family and things of that nature, that was just the process and the information and the experiences he went through in order to rise to the level of information as a spirit that he knows today. So everybody is on their own spiritual path. We cannot dictate somebody just because of our own spiritual paths. So with our glasses, we view things in this way. So this person, we see them in this way, but since they don't play that role in our imagination, then off the back we hate them and we want to kick them out of our dreams and imagination. And it's not supposed to be like that. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, Flight Boss, bitch, goddamn air.